Hope the internet's working okay today. Just gonna play for a short bit and I'll switch over to um, Zombie Army. Hopefully that is fucking garbage again today. Oh, like it was yesterday. What's up, dude? What's going on? Yeah, I'm just on for a little bit for this. I can't promise the internet's gonna be working good. Probably not going to be. Just playing this for like an hour or two, and then I'm gonna switch over to Zombie Army. Probably for the rest of the night, or finish up Bloodstained because I'm pretty close to the end right now. Finish up Bloodstained and then work on. I guess I finish up our Zombie Army, and then next game after that probably won't be till the end of the month. Yeah, not much else. Same old shit. Just dumb shit. We went back to Melty Blood. Well, I mean, if that game makes you happy. I mean, I would like to go back to it if they fix it. And again, if they fix it. Which I just don't see them fixing it. But that's just me. That's me being pessimistic. I'm hoping they prove me wrong. Hope they prove me wrong and they're like, oh, we actually fixed it. I'm like, really? You actually fixed it? Does that mean I actually get to come back? Actually play characters I want to play? Because, you know, I'm still Miyako main, but, you know, I want to play Sasuke. Sasuke's like my big character. Sasuke, her, and I'm trying to think who else is big for me. Can't think of anybody else. Mainly just those two. I don't really play anybody. Well, I play the maids, but I don't like playing them the way they are now. Yeah, like I said, we'll see. We'll see if Season 2 actually brings some meaningful changes. You know, actually where I actually want to play the game. Because as of right now, I don't want to play it. I'm not a big fan of Melty Blood right now, just because of what they've done to the game. And a lot of people agree the same way. They feel that the game is not in a good state. It's not. It's not in a good state. In my opinion, it's in a terrible state. It needs to improve. You know, like I want to see it. I want to see it turn it around. I want to see him like, oh shit, you know, Melty Blood is actually a good game now. It's like, you know, I'd rather better late than never. You know, the thing is, Melty Blood can be saved. You know, Strive can't be. Strive is done. Strive is, you can tell they don't give a shit. Like, Strive would have to fundamentally change too much. What's up, you bankster? How you doing? Nah, I'm just talking to my other friend on YouTube. He's talking about Melty Blood, the new one, Season 2. They said they're going to make huge system changes, and I'm like, okay, we'll see what that means. Because they said that last time they were changing things, and they didn't change shit. So we'll see if by Season 2 they mean major changes, like major system changes. It's like, okay, I want to see some good system changes. Really? No shit. The Prime Minister of Japan got killed? Oh my god. And was he like corrupt or something? Is he corrupt or something? Did people hate him or something? There's a lot of weird There's been a lot of weird shit going on. Like the Prime Minister of was it UK stepped down, which was just what? And then there's a lot of weird shit going on in the world. There's a lot of hate in this world, man. Yeah, that's crazy, dude. I didn't hear about that. Figured that would have been. Yeah, people need to like not murder people because they don't like them. Like that's not acceptable. You know, you should not go and kill somebody just because you don't like them. But a lot of people are doing that. They're coming forward with that shit. They don't give a shit. It's all about themselves. It's like, man, we've gotten so selfish. People gotta learn to suck it up. You know, you don't see me like getting mad at people that beat me in this game and me go threatening to hurt them. You know, like I'm gonna go to their house and beat the shit out of them. Like, you know, threaten their life. I don't do that. You know. Well, yeah. If there's a will, there's a way, dude. The thing is, people get a hold of guns. People get a hold of guns, dude. If they want it bad enough, they'll get a hold of a gun. It doesn't matter how strict. Oh, yeah. Well, people are smart, dude. People are smart. They know how to fabricate their own weapons. Can't really stop that unless we can't just take away everybody's freedom and like, okay, now we're going to watch you guys 24/7. We're going to take away all your rights. I mean, you can't do that. And then you're going to just have you're going to have an overthrow of the government. You know, people are going to get really fed up and be like, okay, you're going to have anarchy at that rate. You can't do that. But at the same time, you know, it's difficult. There's no answer for it. There's no answer for it, unfortunately. It's like, you can put preemptive measures in, but the problem is, if people want to go the extra mile to do something illegal, they will. Yeah. People can make their own dangerous stuff if they want to. There is guides on how to make weapons online. You know, with home materials. So, unfortunately, yeah, it's a tough situation. Like, I don't want to take people's freedom away, but at the same time, we can't just let people go around and do whatever they want. You know. Yeah, it's true. It's just stuff to be aware of, fear. It's just, there's a lot of crazy shit happening in this world. People are crazy. There's a lot of hate in this world. That's the problem. There's a lot of hate. A lot of people will hurt other people just because they're not happy. You know, it's kind of sad. I wish it wasn't like that, but unfortunately, not much you can do. Yeah, seriously. Now, let's see what happens. Yeah, it's kind of... Oh, yeah. I agree.
May Mars bless you. Duel 1. Let's rock.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. You shouldn't be praising people to kill people and saying, "Oh yeah, murder's great. We should kill more people." Like,
Heaven or hell. Duel. Yearn for it. Duel 3. one.
Come in. What's up?
Duel number 2.
Thanks, dude. Okay, no problem. Okay, no problem.
Duel. Fury fighting.
No, it's not. It's not a mod. It's not a mod. It doesn't change the gameplay. It's just a skin. That's all. The gameplay doesn't change. I wish the gameplay changed to Guilty Gear. That would be awesome. So like I said, just a skin.
Duel 1.
It's Melty Blood, I think, plays better, but the problem with Melty Blood is the mechanics, like the pairing and the cancel was really stupid. Like, I like Melty Blood's gameplay, like the movement and the option select, but I don't like the fact that it's just marred by just two mechanics that need to be changed. If it wasn't for those two mechanics, if they were the way they should be, that game would be far superior to this game. By a mile. Like, this game wouldn't even be close. This game's better than Strive, but this game has other problems. How you doing, Jesse? You doing okay? Yeah, like I said, it's the only way I can play Jam. I want to play real Jam. Somebody modded her actual Jam in this game, that'd be awesome. I would play that shit. I would actually play that.
Let's go dangerous. Duel!
It's unfinished yet. I don't think it's finished yet. I don't want Jam and Strive, to be honest. I don't want them to ruin my character, because I'm gonna be like legit sad. Alright, man. You take care of your Banks. Good soon. I remember when Guilty Gear was cool. Amen to that statement. Amen to that statement. I remember when Guilty Gear was a real game. And you're a cool guy. You're alright. Did a very cool statement.
Duel.
Like I said, Guilty Gear is a shell of its former self. I miss real Guilty Gear. I miss Xrd days. I miss XX days. I don't like this new era of Guilty Gear. I think they ruined it. And I mean, it's cool if you like Strive. If you think Strive is amazing, that's on you. That's cool. If you like it, but I can't see that game in the same light as I did in the previous games. The previous games are what made Guilty Gear special. Not the new game doesn't make Guilty Gear special. It just, to me, it feels like a shameless cash grab by catering to the majority. It's not a game that feels like it's made with intent because other people want the series to change because they don't like the previous games. A lot of the newer fans don't know shit about the previous games, in my opinion, and I don't think they appreciate it at all. They just basically like, oh, it's everybody plays it now, so I'm gonna play it because everybody else is playing. Well, now I'm cool because I'm part of the hip crowd. It's like Guilty Gear was cool before anybody even knew what Guilty Gear was. People got woke to it, and I don't like that. I don't like when people like jump bandwagon on shit just because everybody else is playing it.
Let's rock.
Yeah, it's laggy as fuck. Internet's starting to go bad probably again. It's like
Are you challenging someone?
not play that dude again. Crusader's bullshit. I hate Crusader. He's such a brain dead character. There's too many brain dead characters in this game. Like, I'm trying not to like I like Jam. Even though I hate Striker because I'm brain dead, but everybody uses her the same way. I'm actually trying to use her different ways. But I feel that the game doesn't let me use her the way I want to use her. Like, most people just dive kick spam with her, and that wins tournaments, you know? Because it's so effective. And it's like, but I don't want to play like that. You know what I mean? So... Oh, oops, sending me the notes. Crusader's very cheap. He's the cheapest character in the game. Like, anybody that says he's not is an idiot. Seriously. Seriously, if people say Crusader's not cheap, they're an idiot. They're like, stupid idiot. Like, even I admit my character, you know, Striker's is bullshit, and I want to see her nerfed. I would be happy if they got rid of her dive kick. Like, I wish they got rid of her dive kick. I hate her dive kick. I think her dive kick is what makes her top tier. It's because it's her in move, and I don't like that. I think that a lot of her strategy revolves around her dive kick, which I don't like. It's the safe go-to move that everybody does, and it's, you know, you can't punish her, and I don't like that. So I'd be happy if they got rid of it. I'd be like, you know what? I purposely, when I use Striker, I don't use her dive kick at all. I don't use her dive kick at all. I try not to at all. Like, I'll use it in combos, it's fine. But as far as a pressure tool, I don't like using it. I purposely minimize using it as much as possible. Because I just don't like the way it functions. Yeah, I know. Well, that's people that, like, you know, he's like God tier, right? He's like up there. The only person that's better than him is Swiftmaster. Swiftmaster's in his own tier. He's like, Swiftmaster's just safe. Swiftmaster's just, let me throw a bunch of shit at you and I'm safe. I have instant recovery on most of my moves. I have pressure tools that are godly. I have a second move that's into an instant grab. That's really hard to see coming. He has a DP that hits he can do anywhere on the screen. It's like, he's cheap. I'm sorry to say. It's like, they're both cheap. Crusader's just like, and Crusader has an infinite. I'm still waiting when people figure out Swiftmaster's infinite. When people figure out Swiftmaster's infinite, when I will say this, when people figure out Swiftmaster's infinite, he will be X+++ tier. Because everybody's going to do it. They're going to figure something out. It's like, oh, you can't block this. Or, oh, you can't get out of this. Okay, the bad connection. But yeah. I don't like a lot of the cast in this game because I feel that a lot of it's just too brain dead for my taste. It doesn't feel satisfying to do the shit that they do because everybody does it. That's what I don't like. It's just everybody does the shit and it's like, oh, everybody does the exact same loop. Does the exact same combo, the exact same setup. And you just basically have people just mirroring each other. Oh, well, this tournament player does this combo, so everybody does that combo. Everybody does that pressure. Everybody does that approach. Everybody, and then they fall back on it really hard. Like they know it's going to carry them through the whole game, and they don't have to think. So, and then they get praise and glory for how great they are. I'm like, you guys think this is skill? Like, it ain't skill. It ain't skill if you're just doing what everybody else does. That ain't skill. That's just, you're just good at You're good at being a, what do they call it? A script kiddie. You're just a script kiddie. I like it if they would add stuff to it. I think the game has problems. I think the game has problems. No, but I think the problems with this game are not as bad as like, they're not as bad as Stride. Stride has horrible problems. Melty Blood has problems. This game is, out of the three, I would say has the least amount of problems, but it has problems. Like, I at least criticize this game and say what's wrong with it. I personally think the mechanics are lacking. I personally don't like the fact that there's fuzzy mix-ups or safe. There's a block button. I don't like that. I don't like the fact that the alpha counter is fucking garbage. Some characters are fucking horrible. Like Enchantress, she's fucking terrible. She needs help. Like, legitimately, she needs help. Like, she's so lacking in this game that she just feels like you put so much work with her and people don't respect you because they don't have to. It's like, I hate characters that take a lot of work that you basically can just disrespect. And everybody just basically just trolls them because it's like, oh, you picked that stupid character? You're an idiot. And then they purposely, like, people just mock you because you use that character. I'm like, well, one thing, she's actually fun to use. Is two, she's actually takes a brain to use compared to your fucking Unga characters that you guys use. And a lot of characters in this game are very Unga. And I don't like that. I don't like the Unga characters. I hate Unga characters. But, it's sad. I like Striker's playstyle, but I can't stand how Unga she is. Like, I like how she... See, but the way I play her, I use her differently. because I'm actually trying to be more methodical with her and trying to actually be more skillful, you know, with my approach, instead of just, oh, let me just die kick spam because, you know, that's the answer to everything. And I'm like, why do I want to play like that? It's not fun. I actually want to do different combos and different setups because, you know, it's interesting. You know, you actually want to challenge yourself a little bit instead of just doing what everybody else does, because that's what tournament people do. So it's like, again, I don't want to be a script kiddie. I don't want to be like everybody else that's a script kiddie. I don't like that. I just don't enjoy that at all. It kind of ruins my feng shui. It's just like the way I come into a game and I'm just like, my whole mojo just gets ruined because of that shit. Of everybody just being a one-trick pony. Just like, you know, I'm like, oh, I'm actually gonna try to learn the game, and it's like, oh, everybody else is like, oh yeah, we don't play like that. We just do this one thing that everybody else does, and that's what works. So just play it like that or don't play it. And it's like, oh, well, if that's what the game's all about, then I don't want to play it. That's how I feel. Like, I literally, it jades me so hard. Yeah, Ghostblade's top tier. He's like top 3, I think. He's got godly normals. It's hard to challenge him. See, the problem is a lot of characters have godly normals that you can't challenge. Because they have so much hitbox range and no hurtbox, which sucks. So they don't have to worry about retaliation because they're safe. Their hitbox is in their body where the whole weapon protects them. So that you can't, even if you hit the weapon, you don't hit them. So you can't even trade hits, which is like terrible. So it's like, damn, you know, you have to respect everybody's long range normals in this game. You know, if you're good at controlling space with a long range character, it is really hard to get into there, unless your character has like ridiculous iframes. You know, that's one thing I noticed with Striker when you fight long range people. They just run away from you all day. Nah, Ghostblade is upper tier for sure. Upper tier. He's no low tier. He's upper tier. He's like at least A+. Anybody that says he's any less really doesn't know what they're talking about. Like, the characters that are bad in this game are obviously, the bottom of the barrel is Enchantress. She is the bottom of the barrel. Next to her is probably... You know, it's funny, a lot of people say Launcher is low tier. I noticed she doesn't have a lot of combos. That's one thing she does not have. Her combos are pretty shit. She just has a lot of projectiles. So, problem is, there's some characters that can just go through her shit really easy, and it's like, okay, well, you don't have to worry about the projectiles if you have moves that go through them. Then she's ass. She's fucked. You know, and she has no way to deal with pressure outside of her DP. Like, that's the only... If she didn't have a DP, she would be probably one of the worst characters because of... She had no way to get people off her. Because, you know, she's not up close. Like, her playstyle is far away. From far away, if you know how to time everything and keep people locked down from blocking, you could probably get away with it as long as the character doesn't have a way to get through projectiles. But if they have a way to get through projectiles, she's not very intimidating. You just gotta wait for them to do the right projectile, boom, fucking hit them. You know, there's... And then some people's normals will outdo her projectiles. Like, obviously, Crusader doesn't have to worry about it. Especially with his armor. He's like, oh, you're gonna do your fireball? I'm gonna just armor through it and just run right to you and grab you. Or run right through you and, you know, or DP you if you try to do something. You know, he doesn't have to worry about that shit. And then he closes the gap. Crusader can get you in close range. When he goes on and he starts throwing shields out, he can keep you locked down at close range. So he has a way to deal with that shit. So yeah, like I said, there's just characters in this game that really, like, just because how unga they are, and then they get away with it, and they're just like dominating, and it's like, I don't know, I feel like these people that play and they just, have 80-90% win ratios with Crusader and shit, I'm just like, good for you. You must feel so accomplished in life. Like, it just doesn't feel earned to me. It feels like you're just being handed wins. Like, it's literally like, that's how it feels. It feels like it's just being spoon-fed. And I don't like that. I want a degree of effort to put in. Like, you should have to earn to get up there, not just be handed it really quick. I don't like that. I like that there's a degree of, like, you have to put a degree of effort in. When the effort's too minimal, I think I will say this, that this game's effort is too minimal. I like what you can do, but I don't like how easy it is. It makes the game feel, makes it feel more, just not as impressive. So it's like, you can tell when people like that's all they know how to do is spam and do that. And then when you watch them play another game, like, it actually takes a decent degree of execution and knowing what to do. It's amazing how they don't know what they're doing. Like, you can tell, like, well, the game doesn't carry me. It doesn't carry me. So this game's dumb. It's like, okay, like, imagine like some of these people, you put them into Blaze Blue, they would get their asses destroyed in Blaze Blue, like, horribly. Like, they would try to do the shit they do here, and they realize it doesn't work. They would get so upset and frustrated because people would be like, oh, and like, you also could tell when somebody's bad at the game when they don't use all the mechanics. Like, they don't, like, you get people that don't use roaming cancels, they don't use shielding. It's like, wow, you don't instant block, you don't do anything. All you do is that one combo, and that's it. That's your whole strategy. Like, that is as far as you're going to learn the game. That's how far you're going to go in life. And it's like, I look at that and I'm just like, it just makes you sigh, you know? Like, really? Is this how everybody plays the game? Like, everybody plays the game this way? So it makes you not want to try. It really does. It kind of puts you in a bump, like a funk, because you're just like, oh, I want to do more than that. Well, I mean, Jesus, is there anybody that tries to at least play the game? But then you get other people that just, they, obviously the tryhards, they do what the tournament strategy is, and they just, it's all about winning. So they'll maximize their odds as much as possible. It's like people that go into rank and use Lost Warrior day one, because most people don't know how he plays. So they dominate. They get like 95% win ratio with him. And it's like, they're like highest ranked players. And I'm just like, good for you, dude. You're playing a character that nobody knows how to use, and you abuse like a 90% damage combo. Good for fucking you. Do you want a cookie? Because that's how I feel when I see those people. Like, do you want a cookie? Do you feel special? Yeah, that's how I feel. It puts me in a sour mood. It really does. Like, this whole era of players and fighting games, it just really puts me in a sour mood. The problem is the game respects Unga more than actual skilled players. That's the thing. We've closed the gap so much on skilled and Unga that it's almost like, it's obvious who's the Unga, but it's also unobvious. It's also makes it seem like, well, Ungas are just as good as skilled players, so why bother even trying to be skilled? That's what it feels like to me. We put the gap where they're both on the same level. So it's like, okay, so we put this artificial bar here so everybody's at the same level all the time. So it's like, okay, so there's nothing to separate the people that actually want to play the game better than the people that just want to play it casually. Like, if you want to button mash an Unga, go ahead, that's your thing, but I feel like that's the skill ceiling right there. It's like, what's the point of going beyond that? So it's like, okay, well, then that makes me not want to try. I just like, you know what, I'd rather just not play. That's the thing. It jades me from trying. I don't want to try now. Because it's like, what's the point? Because I don't want to play like that. It's like, don't make me play like Unga. I don't want to play like that. It's not fun. It's not fun to me. There's a degree of execution I like, and sometimes I think we've gotten so far away from that, it's like, oh my god. I'm not saying it has to be Virtua Fighter levels of execution. That shit's ridiculous. But, so, that's all. Like, there's a degree where I like execution, but not too, like, the term they use, tight and loose. I like a game that's loose. I don't like tight games. Overly tight is bad. I don't like overly loose either. I like loose. Fairly loose. This game's, like, a little too loose in some ways. Guilty Gear, I think, is, like, the right, like, Guilty Gear Xrd and XX were, like, the right type of loose. It's loose, but it's free as fuck. That's what I like. Like, it feels like you just, the sky's the limit. It feels like it respects the player's skill. It respects the player's execution. It's like you can tell when someone knows how to play Xrd as opposed to somebody who doesn't know how to play. It's painfully obvious. But I don't mind that though. It's like there's a way to differentiate between skill. In this game, I can't tell. Like when I see somebody Unga up and that's a diamond, those are people that are playing in tournaments. And I'm just like, oh, what's the difference between you and a tournament player? It's like, just who does the same shit better? That's what it looks like to me. It's like whoever does the loop better. So that's what it comes down to, where it's all about execution of the loop. And I'm like, well, what about options? What about what about outplaying your opponent? Like, what about actually using your mind to create clever strategies to actually outwit your opponent? Like, where's that part of it? And that doesn't exist. And I don't like that. Like, there's a difference when someone outplays you because, they're just obviously they're thinking of so many things and, getting in someone's head because they're like, oh my god, this guy's all over the place. And it's not because the person's button mashing. It's because they're legitimately very unorthodox or very complex minded. Where they're just like, okay, this person is very dangerous because he knows the game really well. He does a lot of different things. He mixes it up constantly. So I would think that's a more interesting opponent. Because you have to figure out what is this person's weaknesses. What is this person susceptible to? But I feel like when I play a lot of people, that's not what I'm doing. I'm just literally just watching them just, oh, here comes the opening here comes their combo. And then I'm waiting for that time that they, mess up, and then I just capitalize on it. I'm like, okay, and then I know it's like, oh, look, I'm going to knock them down. They're just going to DP me. So I just run up and do nothing half the time because I know they're going to DP. So it's just like, it just feels like it's the same old, same old. There's no, like, wild card mechanic where it's just like, oh, if somebody runs in and let's say, oh, I can parry them, or I can bait their DP, or I can cancel out of the DP. You know, I like that kind of thought process where there's so many different things you can do that there's so much mind games involved because there's so many options, and I like that. So it makes it seem like, oh, those are more interesting. That's like when you watch Zerd, when people do like yellow cancels, and you know they do blitz shield, and you know stuff like that. Or they do a jump in then backdash. You know, there's little things like that really make the game a lot more interesting to watch because there's so many different things you can do. But a game like this, you notice like your defense options are garbage. You get alpha counter, a pseudo roll, and a DP. Everybody has the same option, which I don't like. It just makes everything feel homogenized in that sense. Why do you give every player a DP? You know, why do you give every player a DP? It makes it boring. Like, I don't like the fact that, you know what, you want to know, in some ways, somebody made a good point. This game plays like cross-tag battle, in some ways. Like, I noticed, like, your options in this game are exactly as cross-tag battle. You have all universal DP with every character. The role is more like King of Fighters. But, the alpha counter is fucking garbage. Just like cross-tag battle tag thing isn't very good. But it's just like, what the fuck, you know? So there's some things I want them to change, but I don't think they're going to. They're just, I have a feeling they're going to double down on it and just leave it alone. Oh yeah, we're just going to make it where there's more 100% combos, and we're not going to balance anything. We're not going to like change anything to make it better. Like, not even balance, just change things to make it better. So there's more options. I don't see them doing that in this game. I don't think people want more options. I really think people want just to keep it the same forever. I don't think a lot of people don't like options because then they have to learn new things. I don't think people like that. See, I like options. That's why games like Zerd and what's that one game? Chaos Code. Chaos Code's got a fuck ton of options too, and I love it. It's so involving when you play, and I like that. I really do. It's stimulating, and I'm like, man, you could do this. What about this? And I always feel that there's a solution. Like because there's so many mechanics, there's a solution to a lot of different problems. But the problem is with this game, there's not that many solutions. So you're always, when somebody rushes you, it's like your option is to either alpha counter or DP, really, or roll. That's your option. That's all you have. And it's mostly just the first two. The roll's kind of just once in a while. It's unfortunate. Like, I want to like this game, but at the same time, I'm kind of torn by it. Like, I see the problems with it, and I wish they get rectified, but I just, based on previous experience, I just don't think they're going to listen. It's like, you have a good base, just build on it. But I just don't see them doing that. I think they think they're just going to keep it the same, and just add characters. Like Grand Blue, it's going to be the same shit. It's just going to be Grand Blue, they're going to keep the base the same and not change anything. And it's like, okay, well, we're just going to have a bunch of new characters, and Nothing's going to change. So you're just going to see everything become a touch of death fest. Just, you know, you got Maximilian doing touch of death. You know, everybody, all streamers doing touch of death. I'm like, oh, look, everybody's doing the same fucking thing. And it just kind of just ruins the game because it's like, oh, that's not impressive what you're doing. It doesn't feel special at all when you watch people do it. So I kind of just, I don't care. I don't care now. Because you brought the bar down so low that everybody can do it. And it's like, oh, that's not fun. It's not fun when everybody can do it. Some stuff should be hard to do. Like, really hard. You know, but I do feel that skill gap should be noticeable when you play somebody. Not when, you know, it's like you watch a pro tourney player play like a scrub, and the scrub is keeping up with the tournament player, and I'm like, you can imagine how the tournament player feels. You're like, man, talk about just disrespecting the tournament player's skill. Because this person can just button mash and beat him. Because the game allows them to. You know, I can understand how they feel, because it's like, well, they put all that work and time and effort. It's like somebody that works for a company for like 20 years, a veteran, and you got a new scrub that makes more money than them. And it's like, well, what about the person that put 20 years into that hard work? You know, why are they getting paid less than the person that just started? That doesn't make any sense. And then you wonder why the person that's been a veteran there feels so disrespected. That's how it feels to me. That's how I feel. So. Yeah, it's like I have a love-hate relationship with this game. I kind of do. Like, Strive, I have a hate relationship. Melty Blood is a disappointed relationship. This, I have a love-hate relationship. So you can, in a sense, I'm disappointed with all three games. I really am. Like, I'm kind of disappointed with this game just because of it has so much promise, and then you just see the things that this game does, and then you realize that, yeah, this game is gonna die, or this game's gonna go to hell. And then it's like, and then I'm really not going to be interested in this game anymore. You know, so one of my friends, he's already dropped this game, and he hates it. He said this game is trash. I'm like, and I kind of understand where he's coming from. And I'm like, yeah, I see what you're talking about. He says, this is the way you play it. It just, again, it's just who does the bullshit better. That's what it comes down to. Who can infinite you better? Just, that's what the whole game comes down to. Who's better at doing infinites? I'm like, I don't want to play like that, though. It's not fun. So, unfortunately, I said I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to wait for Chaos Code next to fulfill my scratch, my itch. I think that's the only game that's going to make me fulfill my itch. I hope Chaos Code fulfills that need, because I need something. This game actually didn't last as long as I thought it would. I thought I'd be playing for this for about a month, but after about a week, I kind of got my fill already. And I do feel like, and also it doesn't help with the online being shit. That doesn't help either. But I think I've kind of got my fill with this game. I've seen what it all has to offer, and that's kind of sad. I was expecting way more. I really was. This game is really meant for casuals. It's not meant for people that want to do a lot. If I really want something that's really deep and really, really rewarding to skilled players, I really need to play a Chaos Code next. I really think that's the only game that's coming out in the future that can be categorized to fulfill that need. This game just doesn't do it. Just doesn't do it. Unfortunately. So I'm a little disappointed with this game. Makes sense. I don't hate it, but I don't love it either. I'm torn. Like I said, there's things I don't like about it, but there's things I do like about it. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, but it needs changes. Like, it needs fundamental changes. There's just things in this game I think are lacking, or are just not done correctly. And certain things don't feel good in this game. I do not like the air mobility in this game. The air mobility in this game is trash. It's really garbage. Yeah, that's one thing I noticed is lacking in this game. Air mobility is trash. The only character that has any decent level of air mobility is, besides Swiftmaster, is honestly Dragon Knight. That's it. Everybody else just feels like shit there. So, and I just don't see them fixing that. They're going to keep it a ground-based game. I would like it to be more in the air. I would like to see more mechanics, but I just don't see them doing that. I just don't. I'm already done. I don't want to play. The more I'm playing this game, the more I'm starting to not like it. Like, I can see why my friends stopped playing it. So, it just doesn't feel satisfying to win in this game at all. I don't feel like I've achieved anything when I play people in this game. Like, I really don't. I feel just empty when I play it. Like, man, that sucks, man. When you want to, you have so much in your head that you want to do, and, you want to, do a lot, there's so much, your brain feels hungry. I feel so hungry. And I just feel like this game doesn't fulfill that hunger like I want it to. And it's like, the game could do more. It really could. But it's the same thing with Melty Blood. It's like, Melty Blood, man, that game fulfills my hunger. I could see that game if they did it right. Holy shit, that game would nurture my hunger. Crazy amounts. But it doesn't, because of the way the mechanics are. It's like, okay, well, that just neutralized itself. Now the whole game is just boring, because what's the point of doing all this complicated shit when you could just nullify everything with a single mechanic? So that's how I feel with that. That game has a different problem. It has, outside of the shielding and Moondrive, oh man, Melty Blood is a dream come true. Oh yeah, and get rid of the auto combos. Because auto combos are garbage. Outside of that shit, it's like, man, Melty Blood is pretty damn good. Solid A+ stuff. But those three things ruin the game. It would, I wish I could, show a version of the game where, here, play my modified version of the game and see what you think. Taking out the auto combos, taking out, making shield not RPS, where it acts like the Actress Again shield, and make it where, Moondrive doesn't have a slowdown effect. Doesn't freeze you in place. And you need full bar to do it as opposed to half bar. Like, you can imagine how different the game would play. How people would have to play, to do more in the game than what they do now. It would just be a different beast. I really think people would play different, and then you would actually see interesting stuff, not just the same shit all the time, because it's easy to do. So, but yeah, like I said, I keep coming back to this game, but the more I keep coming back, the more I'm starting to not like it. So, I really need to stop playing DNF like entirely. Like I said, I'm really not enjoying the game. I'm really not. It's just frustrating me. It's a frustrating, annoying experience, especially with the online. That doesn't help either. I think the game needs more. Like, I want to see more, but it's too soon for them to do anything right now. So I just don't see anything happening. I'm being pessimistic right now. I just don't see the game changing. You know, even 2 years from now, I think it's going to be the same exact game. It's going to just be more characters, same exact shit. Nothing's going to change. So until we get a real anime fighter that's really fully fleshed out, which I only see with Chaos Code, because Chaos Code, I'm glad they didn't dumb the game down. They actually expanded on it, which is rare for nowadays for games to do that. You know, they actually left Chaos Code's core gameplay alone and actually built on it. They added more stuff. The game was complicated already, and it's even more complicated. I'm like, okay, they respect the previous players' knowledge. They want you to learn more. They give players more fat to chew on the bone, and I appreciate that. You know, it's like, hey, you didn't dumb it down. You built on it. You added more, and I like that. Add more. More is always good. Options are good. I love options. Give me more options. Let me learn shit. I like that. So, anywho, I'm gonna go ahead and switch game. I'm gonna turn off the stream for a bit. I'm gonna switch over to zombie, because I'm done with this game. That's it. I keep giving it a chance, but the more I keep giving it a chance, the more I don't want to play it. So, anywho,